Good afternoon and welcome back to another episode of Under the Hood with Glen. My name is Glen Hayward and I'm the owner of Good Works Auto Repair in sunny Tempe, Arizona. And today I want to talk about a subject that perhaps you or someone in your family or a friend of yours has had happen to their car in recent months. And it's called catalytic converter theft. And catalytic converter theft has been in the news, it's been in the newspapers. And the reason why people are stealing people's catalytic converters are, and I just went on the internet to look at prices, there's precious metals that are inside. It's just not like a muffler or something like that where it's filled with a bunch of metal and baffles to keep noise down. The catalytic converter actually converts the poisonous gases that come out of your exhaust system and converts them to harmless or much less harmless air and water. And so the precious metals that are inside of those things are as follows. Platinum, we all know what platinum is because you can buy platinum jewelry. Palladium, which you probably never heard of. And then rhodium, which you may not have heard of unless you're a person who buys and sells precious metals. So I'm going to talk about those three metals because they are incredibly expensive. And the reason why people are stealing them is because they're taking them and they're melting them down or whatever they're doing, selling them to someone who melts them down, and they're making amazing amounts of money by stealing them. And so just to give you an idea, gold right now today per kilo is, this is per ounce, $1,815 an ounce. Silver is at $24 an ounce. Palladium is this is platinum. Platinum is $996 an ounce. Palladium is $2,382 an ounce. And here's the killer, rhodium, $8,200 per ounce. Now I can't tell you how much of these metals are in a catalytic converter, but depending on the size of it, that's going to vary. So if you have a big truck, an over-the-road truck or something, and everything today has to have catalytic converters on them, they contain these precious metals. Some of these catalytic converters, like on a hotel bus type of van, which holds 15 plus passengers, those converters by themselves cost $1,800 to purchase. Then you have to pay for the installation, etc., etc. And so that's why these people are crawling under your car at night in your apartment building or on your driveway in your backyard or your front yard, whatever it is. And they're taking a Sawzall, a battery-powered Sawzall, and they're cutting off your catalytic converter. So you get out in the morning to go to work, start up your car, and it's because it virtually has exhaust coming out without going through the entire exhaust system to muffle the sound. So many people now are making claims on their insurance because if you have comprehensive and theft insurance, along with your insurance policy on your vehicle, you can get the insurance company to pay for it. The problem is the availability of these catalytic converters, because the theft rate is becoming so high, they're becoming more and more sparse and difficult to get a hold of. We currently have a car here in our bay that's been here for over a month, and it's going to be almost another month before we get a catalytic converter for this thing because it's a specialized catalytic converter that's made only for that vehicle. And so you can imagine the frustration on the part of the owner, on us, because we have this car sitting in our bay taking up space. And we have 13 bays here, so we may have more room here than a 4 or 5 or 6 bay shop. But nevertheless, it becomes kind of painful to look at that car every day and wonder when in the world the part's going to get here for it. So what can you do to protect yourself? That's the end point here. What can you do? So to protect yourself from doing that, set the alarm on your auto alarm. If you have an alarm on your car, make sure that you set it every time you park it for a long period of time. Because some people are getting theirs stolen at work, some are getting them stolen mostly at their home when they're parked overnight. These thieves in the night come in and steal your catalytic converter, they cut it off, they can do it literally in about 2 minutes, your catalytic converter is gone. These Sawzalls have metal cutting blades on them and they cut them off, and they don't make a lot of noise while they're doing it either. So when they're jacking up your car or rocking it around, there's a good chance they're going to set off your theft alarm and they'll run for their lives. Second thing you can do is make sure that if you have a garage and you can park your car in the garage, park it. If your garage is full of clutter and you can't park your car, I would suggest that you rent a shed or something, or get a shed, take all the junk out of your garage and get your car in there again, because if you don't, you could be at risk of, a $2,000+ repair to fix that. And then if you don't put the catalytic converter, and then you say, well, can you bypass and just put a piece of pipe in there? Yes, but your check engine light will come on and it will stay on and it will flash. They can create a whole bunch of other problems and you'll never get through emissions that way. So it's kind of a must-do thing. So I would suggest that you get your car parked, set your alarm, and make sure that you're protecting yourself. And if you don't have it and you think it might be a good idea to get it, you might want to get some more comprehensive insurance on your vehicle, because a catalytic converter, like I said, they could cost up to thousands of dollars to replace. And that money is going to come either out of your pocket or from your insurance company. And we had one customer who's already had 3 of his stolen off of 2 different vehicles. So I would be very careful to make sure you're doing everything you can to protect it. They do sell some devices out there that can be added on and attached to cover the catalytic converter, but they're kind of expensive and they're even more expensive to have installed. And it's still not a guarantee. I mean, maybe if someone saw some kind of device that might keep them from stealing it easily, they'll go on to the next car. But the bottom line is, park your car, set the alarm, and do everything you can to protect your catalytic converter from being stolen, because these guys are cashing them in for $500 to $1,000 used to these junk dealers. And so very important to do that. Thanks again for your time, and thank you for enjoying another episode of Under the Hood with Glenn. Bye now.